Welcome everyone. Today we will see how to create a network traffic, how to route the network traffic with route table in Azure portal. So route network traffic with the route table using the Azure portal. So usually Azure routes the traffic between all subnets within a virtual network by default. We can create our own routes to override Azure's default routing. What does it mean? We can usually the traffic between the subnet will be is a free flow, but we can override this default routing by creating our own routes. That can be achieved through this virtual Azure route table. So why do we need to create that custom routes? So custom routes are helpful when we want to route traffic between subnets through a virtual network appliance. So virtual network appliance can be a virtual machine only that functions as a that will be used for routing and firewall optimizations. For that only, we will make the virtual machine to a network virtual appliance. So let us do as a demo in this video. We will see how to do it and what are all the steps to be followed. Or first we have to create a NVA that routes traffic. Next we have to create a route table and a route. Then we have to associate that route table to a public subnet. So that the public subnet we have to deploy virtual machines into different subnets. So after this, we have to route traffic from one subnet to another through a NVA. So these are all the steps we have to follow. Let us do as a demo. First, I am creating one resource group. Resource group created. Next, we have to create the virtual network. Virtual network for creating our subnets, where we will launch our VMs. First, virtual network. So create. VNet name, VNet region, and I'm going to use the 10 address space, IP address range I'm going to use. In this, I'm going to create 3 or 4 subnets. First subnet for our public VM, and second subnet for our private VM, and third subnet for our virtual appliance, and fourth subnet for basic host. So we will do it step by step. So what actually we are going to do now? So in this, if we have one virtual network, and we have virtual machines. Virtual network within the subnets. I'm going to create within a VNet 3 subnets. In this, I'm going to create the virtual machines. The idea behind this too, this is my public subnet, private subnet, and this is my NVA subnet, network virtual appliance subnet. That VM we will call it as DMA. So DMA is nothing but DMC virtual machine. DMC is nothing but it is a it's like a firewall which will demilitarized zone. It's like a perimeter network that protects an organization internal local area network from untrusted traffic. In general, if we have an on-premises, if we are creating an DMC means, so that will be protecting our organization local area network from the untrusted traffic. So it is a subnet only. So it will connect between a public and private network. So this is we can say this could be like this. Instead of doing here, we can say like this. It will sit in between the So we have one VNet, and in it there are 3 subnets, and each will be, we are going to create one VNet. So this would be our public VM. And this would be our first is public, and I'm taking the first range, IP address range with the 10.0.0./24 for this subnet, and I'm creating a So next is the tag. So we can create our virtual network. Once the virtual network ready means we have to create our that virtual appliance VM we have to create. I'm going to create a Windows 2000 server, 2019 server. I'm using the 3.5 GB memory configuration. I'm not going to allow any ports. Every benefit. Next, networking. So I am going to, because this NVS VM will reside within this subnet, DMC subnet, so I'm choosing that one, and I'm not going to allowing any public IP address. The network security group should be of basic configuration, and inbound ports none. Next, management. Diagnostics switch off. I'm just creating this. Next, I have to create the route table. When the deployment started, so we have to create a route table. So I'm going to create the route table. So first, route table creation. Address of east to yes. Name. I can give the name my route table. Next, maybe you want to create. So next, I have to create the routes for this. Add routes. So this is going to connect to our private subnet. So I'm giving the name as to private subnet. So the destination would be my private subnet. So 10.0.1.0.24, because public subnet is in 10.0.0.0 series space, and this one is the private subnet, it is in the 1.0 series. So I'm giving that prefix as this prefix as like this, and the traffic should go to the network virtual appliance, meaning our DMC VM, it has to go. So what would be the IP address of it? It would be 10.0.2.4. This is my IP address. So I'm saying OK. Next, what we have to do, we have created the route, and this we are from the public subnet. It has to go to the private subnet via this NVA VM. So that is what we are going to do. So we have created the route, and we have to attach to the public subnet. So let us do that one also. I'm attaching to my public subnet. Next is we have to, because whatever traffic comes, so we have to do the IP forwarding, so that then only this IP addresses will be traffic, that it will allow the traffic to forward to the next location. So for that one, we are going to allow the IP forwarding in our NVA VM. Here first we have to go to the networking, and here we are going to the network interface, and here we can IP configurations. Usually the IP forwarding will be disabled, but here we have to enable this one. So whatever the traffic comes for this subnet, so it will automatically get forwarded to the next location. So this we have to mandatorily do. So we have to save it. So it has been saved. The IP forwarding, it has been saved. Next is the creation of our public and private VMs. The same configuration also will do. So we will create this same. So private VM, same configuration, no changes. None. Next, this networking. Private subnet, no IP address and no ports. management, switch off, boot diagnostics, same, everything same. So once the virtual machines are ready, so we have to connect through the version host. Let us start with this private VM and we will connecting other VMs via this private VM only. So now the VM is ready. We are going to connect through bashing now. So connect bashing. Username password. So it will open in a new browser once we allow this all. We have connected through our private VM to bashing host. Here we have to apply the scripts. Powershell Script. Let me tell you, we have to configure a firewall which allows usually Windows firewall. It will deny the ICMP protocol. To allow this ICMP protocol, we have to write the PowerShell script and run the script in our VM so that we will be getting our routing without any disturbance. So for that one, I am going to the VM and I will run the PowerShell script. I am connecting the PowerShell as an administrator. Once, so we can see here it will allow the ICMP v4 protocol. Okay, so next we have to turn on the IP forwarding within the NVA VM. for that one, we are now in the private VM. So it is very small. Let me maximize my font size so that we can view it clearly. So hope this will do. So let me going so the same that in VM also we have to turn on our IP forwarding. So we can do in the through the Powershell script also. So in the VM, let us go to this one. So for this one, I'm msctc. This command I'm giving, and I'm connecting to my NVA VM. So it will get connected when I give the username password. Here what we have to do, we have to run the PowerShell script again here to turn on the IP forwarding in the machine itself. We have in the portal, we have did it. So in the machine also, virtual machine also, we have to do the same. Here we will do it by the PowerShell script. So let me open the PowerShell here in my NVA VM. Again, I will make the font size a little bigger. Comment I will paste. One minute. This is so turn on IP forwarding. I have to copy this command. So this command, all the steps and comments which we need to follow, I have summarized it in given in that page. So you can see if you want to know. So you can see here first configuring firewall, turn on IP forwarding, and next is to in the machine itself we have to do the IP forwarding. So that one we are going to do now. So it is also done. For this one, after this one, we have to restart our computer. So it has been restarted. So from here, we will again do the msctc to our public VM. There also we have to run the ICMP, that one we have to allow private VM. So let us wait and see. See, you can notice that one. So usually if there is no route table, the traffic will come from the public VM. We are in our public VM. Its IP address is 10.0.0.4. From there, it will directly goes to the NVA VM. So this IP address is we have created the IP address as 0 and here IP address would be, and this IP address would be like this only we have created. Now what happens, the traffic, it should by nature, by default, it should go from here or it will travel like this, but we have now overridden that concept and we are now following this route, and from here only the traffic goes to this subnet, private subnet. Let us see. So that we are in the public VM and its IP address is 10.0.0.4 and we have created a network virtual appliance whose IP address is 10.0.2.4 and we have one private VM that IP address is 10.0.1.4. So the traffic originates from the private public VM and it goes to the NVA, then only it goes to the our private VM. So this way we can override and protect our private VM from untrusted network attacks. So let us what we can check it from our public to this private to public, we can check it will directly go. That one also we will check it out. So first I am closing this tab, closing my VM here, and I am connecting again to I am going to my private VM. I am in my private VM. Here I am tracing my route to the public VM.